Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Fox from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, and welcome to the next exciting instalment, and happy Thursday by the way, of the DeAgostini Star Wars Build Your Own X-Wing Partwork Video Build Series video. Yes, welcome. It's issue 59 today. Now before we get going, as always, quick disclaimer, I am provided this partwork by DeAgostini free of charge, gratis, at no cost. They are sending it to me free, and I'm making these videos. I'm not receiving payment, but I am being given the partwork free of charge. Just a disclaimer for YouTube, I am being given this partwork. So as always, we shall crack on. We're going to look at issue 59, so I'll look at the magazine first, and then we'll get on with the buildulations. There we go. So we've got some more solo concept work. Remember we were looking at this yesterday. I did like the film. No problem with it at all. What have we got? We've got photographs of TIE fighters. The original concept work for the first Star Wars movie was revisited as a design for the early TIE fighters. Nice and skinny they weren't. That's some of the original concept work. So again, looking at the concept, because it's kind of pre-Star Wars, so you've got to design things that look either concurrent with Star Wars. I guess it's, 10 or 20 years before or something. It's got to be concurrent with Star Wars, or at least look a little less advanced. Or a little... You've got the visual history you've got to take into account. That is a big boy. Look at the size of that. I don't remember ever seeing that. Known as the Heavy Armoured TIE, or just Bubba, in its early sketches, James Cline developed what would become known as the TIE Brute, with an offset heavy cannon and a large cockpit, big enough to house 4 Imperial personnel. Wow, that's a big chicken. I don't remember seeing that in the film. That is rather significantly large. Knew a girl like that once. Yes. Next, we're looking at Poe Dameron. Now, this is from that animated series that was absolute pants, and I can't remember what it was called. What was it called? After Rebels, they did the proper cel-shaded one that I watched like the first half of the first season. It just bored me rigid. I can't even remember what it was called. That's how unremarkable that's. I think it lasted one season? Was it one? Maybe 2? I don't know. I watched it and I was like, this is just. I didn't like the style. Everything looked overexposed. Like I don't know. It didn't work. I can't even remember. Star Wars something. It was called Star Wars. I can't remember. It probably says in here somewhere, but that's how unremarkable it was. I didn't even remember the name of the series. I did watch the episode where Poe Dameron appeared, and again, it was like, it wasn't interesting. It wasn't interesting at all, so, yeah. Anyway, then we have the buildy. And then, oh god, it's the tubes. This is going to be frustrating. It's not hard to do. This bit isn't hard to do. It's just really hard to do while you're on telly. So this is going to be a fun episode. It might be about 3 hours long. Right, and we're back. We're back with the beauty shots. It's a nice shot. We're back with the beauty shots and a bit of information. Finally, I can read something. Yeah, it says sublight maneuvering. Balancing the thrust from the X-Wing's 4 sublight engines gave the pilot very precise direction of the starfighter in 3 dimensions. With the S-foils open, the wider spread between the thrust nozzles made the vessel even more sensitive to the controls. Yes. It is a nice looking ship. Remember what I was saying yesterday about silhouettes, making things instantly recognisable? Classic stuff's good. Modern stuff, not so much. And then we've got another screenshot from... I really can't remember. What was it called? Star Wars... I mean, obviously you're going to put in the comments, and if you're watching this as a premiere, you put it in the live chat, but... Star Wars... I can't remember. Anyway, that's issue 59. Let's crack on with the tubes. Let's crack on with the tubes. Okay, now, this is one of the bits I've been looking forward to the least. Not because there's anything wrong with the building part of it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. It's a simple thing to do. It's just a nightmare to actually film it, if it makes any sense at all. It's easy to do if you're just sitting at home, working on the kitchen table or wherever you're working it, on your workbench or whatever. But to actually do it and film it is a right chore, because it's small and tiny and fiddly, and literally, probably all you're going to see is the back of my hand. Also, you're going to get swear words from me when I can't get this clamshell open. Oh, come on now. Oh, yeah, oh, I felt it there. It was giving me some. It's giving me something. I'll give you that. Hang on a minute. Right. Do not. Oh. Right. Where's my scissors? Where's my decal scissors? There we go. Right. Snip. There you go. Have that, you bugger. Have that, you bugger. Right. Come off. Get off. Oh. First 5 minutes of this video, me trying to get the damn clamshell open. Come on now. Don't make me out to be a fool. I can do that very well myself, thank you. There we go. Right. Crikey, Riley. Right, so we have a million different pieces. And they're all jumbled up. Excellent. What we need to do is basically build the pipe work, as it says. Now, it's not, like I say, it's not complicated. It's not difficult. It's just fiddly AF. So let's get this done. So take the two halves of the power unit and fit the pins on the lower half, so on and so on. Pins, holes. You figure the idea out. Now, need to get these two together. Now, if you look at this, you'll realise there is a honking great mould line right down the middle, a seam line, where they go together. Doesn't matter. 99% of this, including all this stuff we're going to spend ages farting about with now, is going to disappear. Again, it's like a lot of the stuff on this project. It's the kind of stuff that will look fantastic if you're going to do like an exploded diagram kind of thing. But most people aren't going to do that. So, yeah, I'm going to do some tweezers here. The thick pipe. Hello, I'm a thick pipe. Thick pipe. And we need to get the D-shaped hole. There is a D-shaped hole here. Got a little notch cut out of it there. Well, we have a little notch cut out of that there, so quite simple. It needs to go in like that, and it's this end with the holes in it. Push it in. Done. Yeah, it's a lovely chrome finish on this. It's very, very nice. It's just never going to get seen. You see some of it, but it's all going to get painted anyway, so. But yes, you're not going to have to worry about these seam lines because you're not actually going to see them at all. There are two long L-shaped manifolds which are a mirror image of each other. I've got to figure out the bits here, haven't I? Let's get the bits out and see what we've got. So, remember, check the plastic clamshell for any bits. These are also especially delicate and prone to cling. So we have these two pots here. We have, we have two L-shaped manifolds. Now, the funny thing is, these are, if this was the real studio model, you would just say these were like exhaust manifolds from an engine kit. Got that piece there, ping, got a long bit there. Now, the trick is we've got these things. Now, you have to kind of organise these carefully because they're chiral and they're all kind of slightly different. That's one, that's two. That's three and another one? No, that's not another one. That's got to make sure you get them all together. So that's four. You see this bit here? This bit comes up, goes down, and then sticks up at the end. This other side, if you do it the same way, it actually comes along and goes around that. It's hard to explain in like with this simple camera, but it looks different basically. It's clearly a different shape. So we'll just get that oriented same way. That one's the same as them. Confused now, I don't know which one it is. Oh, they kind of go different ways basically. There's two left and two right. No, it is that one. There we go, that's that one. Yes, so on this one you can see this little head here. This head, I don't know if you can see actually because it's not really on camera. This head here points down, it points that way. This one, it points up. So that's how you know there's four of them and four of them. I'll put them over there. Put them over there. We'll keep them separate as best we can. I don't know where the camera is now. I'm working here, aren't I? There we go. So let's just move the camera a bit because it's not... There we go, it's better. So, where are we? So we've got the long manifolds. And the long manifold has to go to that hole there with this part. And then these little fluted bits stick out. So it's going to be that way around. Like that. Slots into place there. Don't push it in all the way, it has to go halfway in. So that slots into place there. Now this is, well, this part of the process is where I really would recommend you use some glue. You don't have to, but some of the construction here is going to be really delicate and it doesn't tend to stay together brilliantly. It is all easily dislodged. So if you can get yourself some ABS compatible glue, push these two in a bit more. They should kind of meet in the middle basically. Now you see that one of them sticks out quite far and this one doesn't stick out as far. That's fine, that's how it's supposed to go. Not supposed to be symmetrical, you know. Well, maybe it is supposed to be symmetrical. Hang on. Yes, actually it should be. Or maybe, oh, I don't know actually. I don't know, to be honest. I think one is slightly bigger than the other. Anyway, there we go. So that's both of those in, pushed in place and attached. So they stay in quite nicely. They're going to stay in by themselves, no problem. Now, that's how it looks there. Does seem a little unbalanced. Ah, there we go. No, they are supposed to be symmetrical. You just got to push them until they're balanced. Okay, right, that makes sense. That looks a bit better. That looks a bit more balanced now, symmetrical. Now, this is the tricky bit that I'm going to regret trying. Oh no, not this bit. Not this bit yet. Rectangular plate with 3 lugs. That's got 3 lugs. That's got 2 lugs. 3 lugs. Line it with these 3 holes on the lower half of the power input unit. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's this one. Got a little stubby lug in the middle. Stubby lug! That goes in there like that. Push that in. Not going to need gluing, that's nice and stiff. Ooh, matron. And the other one, which only has 2 lugs, oops, and which is easily dropped, goes on that side. There's no. Oh, hang on. Is that? Yes. That way around. This one needs to go that way around. Oh, do you know? All the little holes down at the bottom end here. You can put this one either way, so just pay attention when you do that. Make sure you get it the right way around. I nearly put it on the wrong way around. Basically, it's an engine block from a model. On the studio model, that'll be an engine block from a, I don't know, 1/12 scale or something. Now, take the 4 short pipes that curve this way. Now, I've actually got these going the wrong way around according to the artwork. It's not those 4. It says here, curve this way, and it shows that bit sticking down towards the desk, which if I turn these round is and not drop it, is that one, I think, because the other one looks like me. The other one, that bit sticks up. Don't want that one. These 4. Eins, zwei, drei, vier. Now, you need to stick these all in one by one. They have to go into that hole and that little hole there. Now, the trick here is that the one at the front at this end is underneath the next one along, and then that's underneath the next one. So the one at this end is the one that's at the very top, and then the next one's underneath it. So start at this end. I think this is how I did it. Start at this end for the sake of your own sanity. This is where it gets tricky now to do on camera, because you've got to line this up like that. I've got to line it up and do it on camera, which is even worse. Let's try. Hang on. Put that in there. Push the bottom bit in first. You can then slot the top piece in like that, and it goes in. Do the next one. If you start from this end, you'll just have a world of hurt because it becomes an absolute nightmare to try and get anything to go in, because you've got to try and get it in place underneath the other one. You just don't. Start from this end. Watch me now realise I've done it the wrong way around and it should have been the other end. And now you could use tweezers for this, but I find it's easier just to do it with your fingers because you've got to push it into place like that. And then it falls out. There may be fast forwarding on this section. Or swearing. Oh, there we go, that's in place, that's fine. And that. Okay, I recommend you do it from this angle, like that. It's the long peg on this end goes into that hole. So do it this way. Hold it like that. Push that in. You can push it down into the hole, and then you can rotate that around. There you go, that's better. And then give it a push. I'm just remembering my technique. That's what took me a few seconds. Long post. Push it in. And then slide that bit in. Now what I recommend here, you don't have to do this, but of all the things we've done so far, this is where you really will benefit from some glue, because that's probably not going to come out, but it's not the grippiest grip in the world. So I'm going to get the other ones on first, and then we'll glue those in place. So the other side should be exactly the same. I'll just double check that is the next step. Okay, this has actually gone easier than I thought. You remember I said at the start, I think, yeah. So again, I'm going to start from this end. Start with the long peg. Push it in, because you can push down with your thumb that way. If you try and do it from this side, you can't really get your thumb in the right place. You can't push down on it. Okay, that one's in. Then just push it down again. Long peg. Thumb push. You're going to be off there, but you can just rotate it around now. There we go. Basically just an engine block and an exhaust manifold. And I don't know what resource references they've used for this. When they did the Millennium Falcon, DeAgostini, they used Steve Dismo was their advisor, or Dimso, I get his name wrong, and he was the guy who ran whatever it was, the company I said a minute ago, Master Replicas, and he based the DeAgostini Build Your Own Millennium Falcon was based on the 32-inch Millennium Falcon from Empire Strikes Back, and his Millennium Falcon, his Master Replicas one, which was also based on the 32-incher, but it had some extra bits added that they've found out about since then. Now I'm going to get me glue. Again, if you've not used this, if you've not seen the previous episodes, I'm using Plastic Magic, which is good for most plastics, including ABS. You must use a glue that can adhere ABS. So the Build Your Own Falcon one was based on the 32-inch studio model and Steve Dimso's Master Replicas Falcon, if I remember correctly. And he worked on it, and he did the videos how to paint it. And like I said, it's a shame I never got to finish mine, because I could have done a vastly superior paint job to the one he did. Because I have to be honest with you, looking at those Master Replicas things, Master Replicas basically sold studio scale X-Wings and Y-Wings and Falcons back in the early 2000s, and looking back at them today, their quality was the paint job quality was like but it was a massive replica of a Falcon or an X-Wing or whatever, which you couldn't get any other way. And so I don't know what they've used as the basis for this, whether it's the Master Replicas Y-Wing, X-Wing, or whether it's something else completely, or they've had access to the studio. I don't know what they've used, so I don't know if this is on the real studio miniature, and if it is, it's probably an engine block. What's next? Right, next we have some tubes. We have 3 left to do. We have the straight tube, or pipe, I should say, tubes and pipes. We have this one here, which is... This is a straight one that just goes in these 2 holes here. This has gone a lot better than I thought it was going to go. That all means that it can only go horribly wrong any minute now, which it probably will. You watch. You just watch. That goes in there. And then the same again with this one. This one's got a little wiggly bit on the end. So the wiggly bit goes here. Now I do have to say, from like the first few issues of this, when you did like the first engine and the first wing, it does seem to go together a lot better. I wonder if there's been some changes in production since they did those first few editions. It sometimes happens. As they go along, they get feedback, and this is not just DeAgostini, but as they go along with the production, they get feedback from various people, and they change things around. With the Millennium Falcon, they actually did a second cockpit frame that they put in. I think one of the last issues, they did a replacement frame because the first one wasn't very accurate. So they do things like that. So maybe they've changed something around, but it does seem to fit much better. I'm going to glue these in again because they're fine. They're not going to come out really, but they might pop out. And especially as we're going to be painting it and stuff, I want to make sure everything's locked in and locked in place. And the one last piece left to do is this little handle here. This has gone a lot better than I thought it would, although it's still 20 minutes. This one, I have to use some tweezers. Look at the tweezularity. Pop that in there. Well, that went a lot easier than I thought it would. I remember the first time I did this on camera was on a live stream, and it was just an absolute nightmare. The first time I did one of these on camera was actually, sorry, get it wrong. The first time was recorded, and I did a lot of editing to make it look like I was less inept than I actually was. The first time I did it on a live stream was a nightmare. Right, so that is that. I think that's everything. Yes, that concludes issue 59. We've built the silver tubey bits. It looks quite nice, that. So that's that bit. That's going to do us for this time. Went quite well. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget, if you want to pick up this partwork for yourself, you can do. There's a link in the description below the video to Modelspace, and I think UK, EU and other places. So do go and pick it up. I do recommend it. If it's in your budget, do it. It's a massive X-Wing. You'd be paying many, many thousands of pounds for something similar that isn't this partwork, if you wanted something this scale, studio scale. So yeah, don't go and spend £5,000 on an old Master Replicas version, because they're not that great, or a Captain Cardboard one, just not that great. So you have to have a lot of building to do. Get one of these. Also, don't forget, of course, if you want to support this channel, please do consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or becoming a channel member by hitting the join button. Either way, you're supporting the channel, you're keeping it alive, you're keeping the lights on so I can still do this content all the time. And you're getting access to content early and ad-free, in a lot of cases exclusively. So do consider becoming a patron or a channel member. I shall just say, don't forget to come back tomorrow on Friday at 1 PM for the premiere. I keep wanting to say preview. The premiere at 1 PM when there'll be live chat. If you're watching this not live, I don't know if it shows the chat later on, but there is a premiere each day. So tomorrow's Friday, we'll do another one. And then we'll be back on Monday after that with a last 5 episodes. So every day for the next week after this, next week in a day, at 1 PM BST is when it'll do one of these episodes. So until next time, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Ooh, go be awesome. And until next time, adios, amigos.